This is his nail after a week, and this is his nail after 2 weeks of the return procedure. Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm excited to share a really interesting procedure I did at my clinic. I'm working with a patient who had an issue with her foot after a sand flea infection during the summer. Let's dive in. As I examine her toe, I'm not sure if I'll need to fully remove the nail. It's a bit tricky to access the area. Back when this started, it was definitely a sand flea in the corner, which left the area sensitive. As I mentioned to the patient, it seems like something didn't heal quite right, and the nail is covering the toe, making it hard to see clearly. What I'm noticing now is that after the sand flea was removed, the area became numb and something formed there. Looking closely, I see some granulation tissue starting to develop, and this spot feels numb. I'm working very gently because I know this area is sensitive after the sand flea issue. My focus is on keeping things comfortable, so I'm constantly checking to make sure everything's okay. I'm using precise clippers to remove this granulation tissue without causing extra discomfort. Look at that, it went straight to the point. The granulation tissue showed up right away underneath, and I managed to remove it quickly. It's not just a drop of blood. Sometimes people try to cut this at home with clippers, but that's not recommended. Here, everything's under control. There is more granulation tissue deeper inside, which indicates an ingrown nail with this tissue trapped underneath. It might feel a bit uncomfortable, but I'm being extra careful to minimize any pain. I'm cleaning now, removing the loose skin with precision because it's crucial to avoid leaving anything that could lead to infection or worsen the issue. The severity here is moderate. The granulation tissue was pressing against the nail, causing discomfort, but it's nothing we can fix with this procedure. Why am I doing it this way? Because careful removal preserves the nail's natural structure and prevents unnecessary damage. This is key to maintaining foot health, as healthy feet are essential for mobility and daily well-being. Speaking of care and empathy, my goal is always the patient's comfort. I'm monitoring her reactions throughout because I know podiatric procedures can be sensitive, especially after something like a sand flea. I want her to leave here feeling relieved and confident. And for all of you watching, know that I'm thinking about your comfort too. If you experience something similar, seek a qualified professional because the right care makes all the difference. Hey folks, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? Brazil, the US, another country? What city? I read every single comment, you know? There are a lot, so I reply little by little. But I love connecting with each of you. It's what keeps me motivated to create content like this. Here's an important tip. Avoid trying to fix issues like this at home, like cutting with clippers, because it can make things worse. During the procedure, I noticed there was no active sand flea, just an ingrown nail with granulation tissue caused by constant pressure. Now, about the cultural perspective in Brazil foot care, especially nail care, is a big deal in our aesthetic standards. I get a lot of comments asking why I don't just remove the entire nail. And here's the thing, not all professionals remove the nail completely. Some prioritize preservation, but what's rare is professionals who truly focus on how the patient feels emotionally. In Brazil, it's not just about health, it's about self-esteem and natural beauty. My goal is to fix the issue while restoring the nail's appearance to be as beautiful as before, or even better. In this case, by treating the granulation tissue without removing the nail, I'm prioritizing that approach, avoiding marks that could affect the patient's confidence. For my international viewers, you might notice different approaches elsewhere, but this focus on aesthetics and emotional well-being is a hallmark of Brazilian podiatry. Back to the procedure. After removing the granulation tissue, I see that the patient will go 7 days without anything in the area. She'll come back so I can clean any loose skin that remains. There was no sand flea, just an ingrown nail with granulation tissue, worsened by pressure. The nail was constantly pressing on this tissue, and now a bit more showed up. This side isn't painful, which makes things easier. At first, when I started, it seemed like something was coming out from the side, but I'm being careful not to aggravate it. I'm not removing the nail polish or base coat because it's not necessary and I don't want to cause pain. At the follow-up, when she returns, everything should be on track. The area was free of additional complications, and simple home care, like avoiding pressure, will be enough for the next 24 hours. I'm wrapping up carefully because the goal is to ensure the nail recovers without further pressure, keeping both health and aesthetics in check. Now look how amazing. This is his nail after a week, and this is his nail after 2 weeks of the return procedure.